could please take a look at this brown colored undershirt.
Oh, Epiosde, where's the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask. I would gladly give you as many as you'd like.
Thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found here at this crime scene.
What?
Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
What?
Oh, I meant that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know, wearing that pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. On top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cool, Auntie Pooh.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. I've been the one to find the body. Do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this.
Well, I believe she's lying about her actions. I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. Somehow the other shirt managed to move from the next room to this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours.
That brilliant mind of yours. You really can't see everything through about me.
And so the feeling of dread continues. But I suppose I should ask for more details. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course I'm forever yours, my Auntie Reggie Pooh.
Hold it! If you could just stick to what I asked you!
Auntie, are you in Miss Oldbag?
No!
You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy.
A present?
The studio bigwigs recently told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to put them all into the pushcart just to move them all. The studio guys should deliver those things by themselves. Right, Auntie?
Deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy step as per your instructions.
Hey, Auntie, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me?
About that, see, after the show, I went to rest the spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know? And there they were, the samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. By preparation, you mean sampling them as well? Excuse me?
Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, the taste was fine for kids too. But they were so good I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there by the one fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is...
What is it now?
Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, my Auntie Pooh? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I only give you one. The rest are all for me.
Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they turn them into a pair of annoying troublemakers. There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not? Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof? There was testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? I see, so what you are proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically, the fireplaces of the neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you are implying? Precisely. The lady's underset that missile found. Ah! Why are you getting all excited over holding on to our lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncuffed sea slug! If you know the owner said underset, then hurry up and return it to her already! You have it all wrong! This is evidence! And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Mr. found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershot. Is this a claim that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order. There's an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a little better look at it. What in the... The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room. The neighboring room? There appears to be. Not particular about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there's a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name that old lady as the Mask 2's killer now, are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with the Mask 2's murder. It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then, if you are prepared. I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good! I'm counting on you, Edgy! Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your life for what it really is. My life! I know that there is still something you're keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Auntie? Of course you. I should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world, and then kill myself, and then owe everything into mass confusion. You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. There we go. I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of hell-brain trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. Because an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Eddie. Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case. And I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this.
Alright, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What didn't happen to Walks?
Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify to what you did up on the roof tonight.
After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a real thing, you know? So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore.
But it's kind of also embarrassing.
What exactly is so also embarrassing that you can't tell me?
Man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. So you're just gonna have to reason out of me.
As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie. I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter.
After the show, I left the postcard in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a photo of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a real thing, you know? So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
Hold it! You suddenly want to play Santa?
Well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at Golden Lake.
If you wouldn't up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys still a lot of history. A perk to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a fun to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family chimney after all. Actually, there's no delve into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal. Actually, I believe in that case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff? Precisely, you hit the nail on the head, Agent Slang.
Hey, Auntie, that's so incredibly mean.
Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world?
Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. You're going to tell me to whom you are delivering a present to.
I was delivering a present to a child basking in the warm glow of love.
Objection! That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie.
You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that?
In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present on to was most certainly this. Take that! Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect.
There's no spit lies about me. I told you I didn't want to see Miss Soulback so once I tried to go down a chimney. Ow!
I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady. Well, I must admit, I myself hardly ever had to want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? The very wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this. Take that! This is something an old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was again. It seems like this man is quite taken with the apples.
Hold it! But that's not true, Eddie. She's the one with the hearts for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam punishing my heart when she's watching me. Sexy beam, I tell you.
You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly, appreciation of a man. You haven't matured at all since we last met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, this guy. He's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way.
Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you all have to make me out some sort of bad guy?
So we're trying to do was on topic. I propose that at least this much has been made clear. About any knowledge that Mindy had fallen out. Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room that much we know for sure.
Hold it! Hey, Eddie! Looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now.
Oh, not in court at the moment.
Shut up! I see what's going on here. It looks just like what you do in court.
I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Langsy says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions till everything is out in the open window is why I'll listen.
Alright, you ready to listen to me defeat Eddie in a battle of wits?
Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize would be your arrest?
Do you think all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. There was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. And to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really meant. Why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Hey! Someone say something!
Are you seriously trying to submit this, not as a confession but as a testimony?
So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim, claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that?
So it was you! You're my stalker? But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm a devoted type of woman who's wholly focused on one man and one man only. As long as Eddie Pooh's alive, I can't stop him and be a favorite. No, I can't, no. Oh, no, typical, this is time for that wolf man. Love my Eddie Pooh. Take company to my beloved Eddie Pooh.
Ah, I'm so inspired!
You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man! I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point.
What do you mean? Of course you still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to be a Profindi.
Proof, you say?
Remember, Eddie? Everything is evidence in court, right?
You mean... Evidence is everything in court, Larry, but I understand your point.
Yeah, see? I'm totally a pro at this now.
Very well, if you wish to see this evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you ever wished to see.
So you figured all I want to do was go visit Mindy?
Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. What are you showing that thing to me? Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your lovely night. Well, isn't that just romantic? But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Lovely Knight?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
Objection!
You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. While this letter shows that the person that had intended to meet was Mindy.
Take that!
I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English.
You wrote Mindy so sloppy that it became Wendy to the average eye.
Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing.
There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. But that will have to wait until we're off this crime scene.
Eddie, save me from this scary man.
So if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake.
That wasn't me.
Come again.
It's a fake. Someone's out to get me, so they made the fake letter to set me up.
Accept your defeat gracefully.
But you guys are being so mean.
Hold it!
Penmanship analysis.
What's that?
No matter who, all people have some unique features to their handwriting. Here we go. All we have to do is compare their handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we know soon enough who it was that sent this letter.
I'll never want another thing in my life.
Hold it!
It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. For you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting.
Take that!
This autograph and our mysterious letter. If we compare their handwriting, we'll know the answer to our questions soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure.
I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Eddie.
So he finally confesses.
I saw the big princess been carried around in a stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go to Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Eddie.
Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination.
But at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney.
Except for the fact that the letter was the failure at conveying said sentiment.
I'm really sorry.
Larry, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you wanted to kill her. I told you to trust me. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you.
Eddie, you're...
Ah! We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you.
Ah!
In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butz starts to climb down the chimney. Not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Hold it. Great job, Miss Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. Put the suspicion on that guy over there. Isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay?
Oh, hey, what? Eddie, what does the wolf mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet?
motor weapon. Oh, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We can only rely on the words of the suspect after all. We have figured out what he was and what he was doing all night. But the bloodstained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene. As long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. Angie, that guy, he looks like he's here to suck that thing a bite out of me. I'm well aware, and you should do as well. This time, upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bungalow, I've been done a very nice hand in a sweet trump card. Let's go back to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed motor weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real motor weapon is. It should be a high-stakes gamble. This is one game I can't afford to lose. I was the one who found the body of the victim, the mask too. Besides him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the steel samurai's dressing room, but I found it in here instead. Plus, I found the motor weapon's owner, the suspect Larry Butz, in here too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wants to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
Hold it!
If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Not so fast!
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence? You think I can believe anything you produce? Present evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man may have some serious issues with prosecutors. Come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Nancy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you, or me for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. I was the one who found the body of the victim with a mask too. Besides him was a samurai sword glittering red and offering up the scent of blood.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? I have to spell it out for you. I mean, the sight and smell of blood, of course. According to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was meant to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's only heavy enough to beat someone to death with. It's easy to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? That statement is too important to just let it slip by. Besides, it was a samurai sword covered in the victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing.
Objection!
Do you know what this is, Agent Flying? It's a long spear, right? We used to use those around my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slight different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? Now, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hid against the wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the inside of this dear samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow. Let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Ah!
Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they made them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special only samurai jabu. And I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show.
This samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him? Ouch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. So all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risk in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma. As you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. But no one should have conceived of the notion to convict our defendants in the first place.
Objection!
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. If that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth.
Not so fast!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider it, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed the masked truth without bending it. So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. What I need is evidence even he can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it only natural that suspicion would fall to the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we left unturned. And we have managed to come up with one logical conclusion. That the only place inside the embassy with the victims were on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact?
Not so fast!
If you got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon.
Hold it!
The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword. That's right, even with luminol. Which means that there are no other possibilities aside what I've already outlined. I have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is a weapon. If you believe that there is no other door or possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you.
Not so fast!
And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real mortal weapon.
Not so fast!
The real mortal weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy, and they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course, because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in your investigation.
Not so fast!
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games. I don't appreciate when people like you slander my men.
Hold it!
I'm not slandering them, I saw you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragon has a few holes in it. Namely, if there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on, that arm is the real mortal weapon. Alright, then I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed the Master Chief, what exactly is it? The real mortal weapon which not a single person has yet to touch is this.
Take that!
The national treasure of Albustat. Hold it. You mean the primitive statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
Not so fast!
You know very well that if we did that, there would be an international incident between the Kingdom of Albest and the Republic of Bahama. The two countries' forces were succeeded in the balance. Over a simplified way to a samurai statue. I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The erection of the statue is facing this before and after the crime are different. And there is only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Sifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you. Sifu, please, let's be rational about this. Things he says. Just go already. Yes, sir. Sifu. Yeah. I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the primitive statue. I see. Right. But then the investigation is at a standstill? Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. You may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're presenting a whole country, you know. Agent Lang, what do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. But Sifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to lay.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so someone is to take responsibility. Let it be me. Responsibility? If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'll be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, let's talk and more investigating. If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminal test on the statue. A luminal test? Good thinking. If the statue is a mortal weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here. Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. This is the real weapon that killed the mask too. Indeed. I wouldn't set it again if I were you. This isn't me letting your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that you killed the mask too, so the charge remains. You'll hardly done examining this statue, Agent Lang. No, that is the real weapon. I believe further examination is required. You think so? Okay, then knock yourself out. With this sword drawn and ready, there was a certain awe of valor around him. Langzi says, those who hold a sword hold an equally strong will. It's said that the weapon one holds reflects the strength and will of one's character. What if this was created as a show of the country's majesty? Oh, then what does Fancy's whip say about her character? It says I'm ready to exact punishment on those who would break the law. Why are you glaring at me? I thought you understood I'm not a killer. I believe in your case, he was the exact punishment before anything else happens. There's a shield on his back. I wonder if that's supposed to mean that his back is covered. Langzi says those with a shield on their back deflect all enemies behind them. That means that he's ready for any blindside attacks that may come his way. Agent Lang, no need to attach overcoming complex means such a simple thing. You didn't seem to get Langzi saying, so I was just explaining it to you. The saying itself is what I was referring to when I said overly complex, you know. And what do we have here? This dirty smudge, it looks like a handprint. What's a definite bit of evidence like you doing here? Looks like we got some fingerprints to analyze. Okay, so just put one to Larry. Looks like it's too late for me to do anything about it now. Who went this guy? I want results on these fingerprints ASAP. You hear me? Agent Lang, I had the analysis results sought. Good, and... So, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Albanese embassy? The prints belong to him, to Mr. Manny Cochin's son. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. This Turnabout statue can only be handled by someone of that country. By the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. The statue is actually Baba's Turnabout statue. Impossible! It can't be! Ah! Never once set foot on Baba's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an elephant knife in Baba. And the mask too was killed on Albanese soil with Baba's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagashiro who visited both countries. The pieces were there. I had yet to see the big picture they were to form.